Hi, welcome to another Scrappy Saturday. This is Lisa. Welcome to my Scrappy Card Explosion. Today's card is another fall card. I just love fall, my favorite time of the year. And we're going to be using this particular stamp set today, which is for all things. And we're going to make this card right here. Although I'm just going to be changing the colors a little bit, just to show you that it looks good with it looks good with all colors on it. And so, and with this, I'm going to be using this leaf, and I'm using the acorns, and then give thanks for all things. I have set out here Old Olive, Delightful Dijon ink. I've got baked brown sugar. I've got Tangelo Twist. I have Tip Top Taupe and Watermelon Wonder. So yes, I do use all of those. Now I have this Tip Top Taupe. It's cut at 4 1/4, excuse me, by 11, and then it's scored at 5 1/2. Then I have the Watermelon Wonder. It's cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Then I have the Whisper White cut at 2 3/4 by 5 3/8. And then I have the Whisper White cut at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and Delightful Dijon cut at 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. And you start with the Whisper White 2 3/4 by 5 3/8. I have my leaf set here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stamping the different leaves. I just got to make sure it's inked up good. And I'm just going to start stamping the different leaves on here. And it doesn't matter if some white shows, it's good. I don't have to have the center part of it filled in, but I usually just go ahead and make sure that it's covered, just because that way, in case anybody has it showing, then they'll know what it is. Then I'm just using all leaves and all these different colors so that I will have a good proportion, making it look like fall leaves. Bright brown sugar, I didn't have to clean to do that one because it's so close to the Delightful Dijon. And then I'm going to the Tangelo Twist. We need a little bit of orange with this, because this is our fall colors that we're getting here. And then I'm going to pick up the Watermelon Wonder, because I also want my red in here. And I'm kind of just stamping that red just randomly so that everything's covered. And there, I have my background. A lot of people were using different fall papers, but since I didn't have my fall papers in, I decided to make my own fall paper for this particular one. Now, I've got this, and now I'm going to take my, after I close all these inks up so I don't make a mess, I will be using the Tip Top Taupe and the Watermelon Wonder on the other piece of white, but I'm going to close these. And then I'm taking this piece of Wild Wasabi. I love this seam binding, but I'm taking Wild Wasabi. It just seems to blend so well. And I'm just going to cut just a little strip. I would say that's about 7 inches. And I'm going to put, you see, I've used this before, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I turned it over and used the other side. That's the wonderful thing about paper crafting. One side messes up, you turn it over and start again. And that's kind of what I've done here. And I'm trying to get it close to the center. I might have to move this one over a little, because I want it to come up pretty much the center. And now I think I'm going to move that one just a little bit. when I do this off camera, it seems to go a lot better than when it's on camera. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to put this down on my Watermelon Wonder. I'm trying to make sure that I've got it pretty well centered. Now, that one's done, and now I can fasten this one down permanently to the back of this, to the front of this. Now I have that one. Now I'm going to take this piece, and on here I am going to take my Watermelon Wonder, inking it pretty well, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I am going to stamp it right in the center of this piece. And I'm pressing on the middle because that sometimes is the hard part to get. There's perfect. Now I want to take these acorns. I've got acorns, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in this tip-top toe. And I've got just a little bit here, and I don't want it to come out on my paper, so I'm taking it off. And then I'm just going to kind of stamp these off somewhat on every corner. And it doesn't matter if they don't, if it doesn't, the whole thing doesn't show. I'm trying to get just pieces of it in the corners, just to fill the corners up a little bit. And then on top here, what we have are the colors that are in your background papers. I have the Watermelon Wonder and the tip-top taupe. And there we go. Now, the next thing I need to do is I want to take the this saying, the give thanks for all things, and I'm going to use my chocolate chip, which I had forgotten to get out. Thankfully I have it close at hand. And I'm going to take the chocolate chip, give thanks for all things. And then I want to do it right in the center as best I can, and it'll go on the leaf. There we go. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to fix this to this right here. Okay. This is my extreme tape. The other one just ran out, and so I'm using it. And it's one of those you have to be a little bit more exact. And look, I just got some of the ink wasn't dried on the paper and it got on there. Thankfully, we can always just make like that's part of it. There we go. And then I am going to take just the pop dots that I have, or I never can remember what these things are called. And so anyway, I've about run out of all of these that are not Stampin' Up, so I'm using them until they're all gone. Then I'll be using the Stampin' Up! Products, but I don't like to be wasteful, so therefore we're using these until they're gone. And now I'm pulling this off. Hopefully that's all dry. Centering that. Popped it up just a hair. And there we have Give Thanks for All Things. Now didn't that look good with the Watermelon Wonder behind it? It's just a little bit of different color. And then you've got just a little border with the gold. And see, this little place doesn't even matter. It might bother me, but it's okay. It's just fall and it's kind of messy anyway. Thank you for joining me, and next time I'll be doing a Christmas card on Scrappy Saturday. Thank you.